Alright, this one is a little embarrassing. This is Press the Attack Fizz. I actually like this setup so much that I tried it in one of my games. It's pretty straightforward, actually. A lot of PTA champs, like you've seen recently, Teemo Top has been popular recently because of the buffs, and there's that one PTA Teemo. It's pretty straightforward. Most of the time, Fizzes will take E level 1, and you'll basically win all ends, right? It's kind of hard not to, unless you miss too many Qs. So what some Fizzes will do is they will take W and just kind of fight you, but even then they still lose, like tit for tat. The only way they win is if they don't die. If they don't die and you're both low, then, as you know, the Assassin versus ADC matchup, in this case Yasuo is the ADC and Fizz is the Assassin. I say in this case because sometimes Yasuo will be the Assassin versus, I don't know, like a mage or an actual ADC mid, right? So the roles swap, and that's something you just have to learn over time, I guess. The concept is pretty straightforward. So if you're both low, it's better for the Assassin than the ADC, because the ADC, by definition, has more DPS, but lower burst. So you need to be able to survive the initial burst to then do enough return damage while the other person is off CDs. Because early game, Assassins only get one spell rotation and autos because of CDR and long cooldowns early, right? So I'm going to unpause this and tell you, spoiler alert, why this is embarrassing because why I lose this. I miss a Q, and notice how he plays this. He autos once and walks immediately because he knows I have shield, I probably have bone plating, which I do, and if he walks immediately, he's more likely to dodge the Q. I'm not used to Fizzes walking immediately. Most of the time they like stand an auto. So I miss a Q, he hits an auto while my shield is going down and my bone plating is going down. As soon as everything is down, he auto W resets with PTA. There you go. I'm basically almost half health already. And that is awful. I wanted a full trade where we would both be around like 200 HP. Because in that case, at the very least, I can try and trade kill by getting the shove priority and level 2 first. But no. I tilt, and I disrespect him, and I do the same thing. Look at that. I give him, look at that auto range, right here. Why do I stop here? I could have just kept running. And then when he starts running away, that's when I Q. But I thought I have damage. But this rune is OP. There's no CD on it. If this was Electrocute, it would be on cooldown still, but no. Look at that. I just got cheesed. In 2021, you can still get cheesed. A little diamond emote. Anyway, come back to lane. And now the actual lane starts. So, now I'm in trouble. The guy is ahead. We're struggling. We can't really do much. We have to look for the good trades. That was not a good trade. You want to space enough. Like right here. As soon as I see him walk into me, he's most likely looking for a Q because my shield is down. I need to walk backwards at the same time if I want a chance to cancel his Q with my tornado. And then I can like maybe auto E him and then E this way through him and then E out that way on this minion, right? But even then, the trade is kind of crappy because I end up aggroing more minions because if I cancel his Q, then he doesn't hit me once. But still, it's still kind of better, right? But I don't have shield, so I shouldn't even be trying to trade. But this is one of my autopilot games where I'm not really trying to try too hard. I'm just playing the game because I'm addicted and I just want to play League because it's the easiest thing to do in that time. This is a very old game, several months old. I want to show it to you guys because, again, there's always something to be learned. That's what you want to be doing. Queuing him when he goes for CS, but not when your shield is down. So I try to sneak in an EQ here. If you EQ a minion, right here he is in range for my EQ. If I EQ that minion, he gets hit by it, but I guess not. But that's the kind of shit you want to be fishing for. And I'm just keeping the wave as close to the tower as possible. As long as the wave is here, then this is the kind of stuff you can expect. I can trade with him I can harass him, and he can trade back. If he Qs me, he ends up under tower, then he has to E out. And the moment he E's out, I all-in him. Because he wastes his E and I can just run him down. So he doesn't like being here. Now that he's no longer here, I have a couple of options. One is slow push this, and then shove, or shove right away. Unfortunately, and this is awful timing, and you know, it's just, it is what it is, right? You want to be spending HP to keep the wave here, because the moment you give that up, your jungler is top lane or somewhere else, right? And you don't know where the enemy jungler is, and you're gonna get ganked. The only reason I was safe here is because these 3 minions were alive. So what was my actual mistake here, turns out, and this is important, is you can drag minions. You can control the enemy minions, by the way. This is super important, level 1, when you want to secure a little shove in your favor. You auto, or like you do something to the enemy mid laner to aggro the minions, and then you naturally want to de-aggro them, and you can choose which direction to go. Most of the time you want to walk backwards, and you'll end up dragging the minions closer to your side of the lane. In this case, doing that is actually not a good idea. Notice, I dragged them into tower range when I should have just wind walled and stood my ground. That's the only reason why I get ganked there, is because I say my wind wall for no reason, because I don't prioritize the freeze. So I ping that Graves is gonna gank, but Skarner doesn't give a fuck, because low elo, right? I get his E. Now I'm kind of safe. I'm just fucking sleepy tired. I don't have my wind wall anymore. This isn't very turnable, but I guess we're doing this. You can see the Fizz is trying to go for me, but Skarner's pretty strong early. So I go. I know the Fizz doesn't have his E. For some reason, while he's stunned, I don't get to EQ. If I EQ there, I can just flash after him and auto. But that doesn't quite go as planned. Not ideal. I could have played that a lot better. You can rewatch this a couple of times to maybe imagine what you could have done differently and stuff like that. No need to dwell on it. Here, I know this guy can't really kill me unless I overstep, and I'm really hoping I can kill him by baiting him. Which, so close. But I end up dashing out too far. As I knock him up here. Is the game laggy or is it just me? I lag sometimes, and this game was also, I don't remember if I was lagging this game, but it just looks a little choppy. I knew that my auto E wouldn't kill, but I was hoping I could just auto him right afterwards, and my Q would be up for a max Q range, which is exactly what would have happened, because I wanted the minion behind me. But notice, I still had my wind wall, so I didn't need to E. What I could have done right here is auto one more time, or space and W, and then auto one more time. So notice how my dash, because the way the Graves auto works is, it's in like an area spell or some shit, I don't know exactly, but like, it doesn't follow you the way regular auto does. So it goes in this direction, but since I dash, I actually dodge his auto. It's kind of a skill shot in that sense. It's actually dodgeable. And it would have killed me. It would have killed me. So I don't trust my W timing with lag and like the way it's coded to like save me there. So most of the time you want to like give yourself enough space to let your W come out of you. But I thought that E would be better here, and then I autoed right away, which was again a mistake because that was his last auto. There was no reason for me to W there. Minion damage wasn't going to do it, right? So anyway, he flashes, no big deal. I can't crash the wave more than that, but 2 minions is fine. It's going to push back to me. And also Fizz is just going to either slow push or hard shove. Either way, I can't stay, because then I just die. I just need to take the L here. I overstayed because I wanted to kill. It was a bet. Didn't work. I go for double daggers boots. I need to wait for HP. Not ideal. I miss 1, 2, 3 minions, probably 4, most likely 5 minions there. I try to tell my team to play smart in my very diplomatic way. He thinks he wins that trade because he wants to keep my shield down, and also bone plating has a long cooldown. But I don't want to... wow, this lag, what is going on? But I don't want to actually trade with him at this point, because he's going to be hitting levels soon. And like I said, in the assassin matchup, you want to go for all-ins, not trades. If we're both low, then he benefits from that. Insane all-in damage, by the way. Fuck, I needed the Q there. I thought I spaced it properly. So here's the thing. This is a huge wave, which is why I don't mind fighting him here. Although he has an initial burst, same thing applies, right? I don't mind him having high burst as long as he doesn't disengage right away. If he trades out right here and just ease out, like, he wins the trade, but I get to recall because this is a stacked wave and he can't freeze this, right? But since we're in the middle of the lane and he can just E out without punishing me, I'm okay taking the trade. Because worst case, he E's out and then I just recall and then I come back. Or he doesn't E out and actually kill him because it's an all-in. And it's very risky. It's very risky. He had Ignite advantage and he had the E still, and it was way too close for my liking, and I actually got spooked, but I knew he didn't have flash, and I knew he didn't have flash either, so I'm just trying to dodge his E and then Q him right after. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite work out, and the fight takes so long that it almost freezes, but then it's all good. And Skarner has the good presence of mind to actually come mid because it's a highly volatile mid 2v2 matchup, and mid is a 2v2 lane because it's a mid jungle matchup. But this is good for us, even though I don't have wind wall. Until, of course... Okay, I'm sorry the replay is, like, bugging. I think it's just the replay that's bugging. The game wasn't actually like this. But one thing to keep in mind, of course, is side lane prio. In this case, we're fighting top side, so we need to look at top lane. We see the trend is coming. I don't think I actually see that. I am pinging him back because I want out of the situation, but I don't want to leave him alone. But if I do actually leave, I'm pretty sure he just leaves with me, so maybe I should have just taken the lead and just like forced him to leave. But anyway, I wanted the kill here. I auto E, or like he E flashes to taunt him so he can't E or something. Here, Trend, oh, lovely. Trend has ult here. But Shen also has ult, so it works out, and we get his flash. And now Shen gets to eat his top wave, and I get to get one more mid wave. Oh, I guess the game was lagging. Oh, I remember. This is the game where everyone was lagging. Riot, good company. Yeah, truly. Lost her better uninstall. So I come back with a longsword because I already have a dagger and I don't have enough for a cloak, and also cloak isn't that good of a recall, but if I had I would have gone it because I'm trying to get Zeal most likely, because this is a very fighty matchup and Zeal gives you the most power at this point in the game. So he's trying to freeze and do random shit, or yeah, I was gonna say or bait me into the jungler, but I know they don't actually have kill pressure there if I just run away, like they don't have gap close. My god, this is so unplayable. I'm just lagging everywhere. So, like I said, this is actually pretty playable, like the actual fight. I'm taking this all day because I'm level 7 to his level 5. He needs this wave to hit level 6. And even though he's baiting, they don't have the kind of dashes and CC to make this play work for them. So I can legit just like play it right here. And I'm playing it just fine. Unfortunately, I don't hit my Q on anyone. I don't ult anyone. Mega big lag, and as a result I don't get any kills because I just get kited. Like I said, right, the only way I lose is if I get kited. If I get the all-in, I win. So I'm bad, I'm being bad, even though, like, that was a high risk play, I didn't need to do it, but getting a double kill there would really cement the game in our favor. And it wasn't that risky of a play. It might have looked it, but honestly that's the play you want to take most of the time. Graves isn't a scary jungler for Yasuo, and the Fizz was pre-6, and I just gotten my longsword and Zerker's back, so it was pretty good, you know. Anyway, we keep pushing, we're just going for plates, going for plates, going for plates, until Fizz comes back from somewhere. I miss a Q somehow. I try to return the trade as much as I can, keeping in mind that he has his ult. His E should be back up now, but he can go for the CS because I'm threatening the Q. So he just starts backing, and he could be baiting me, Or he could actually be trying to back. Since it's Cannon Wave, I'm assuming it's an honest back until he stops, obviously, his recall, but I don't really care as much. I don't need to, like, freeze on him and stuff. I'm okay just, oh, lag OP. This whole play is trash, by the way, because right here, I take a tower shot, which is dumb. Here, I don't Q him when he's Qing me, which is also very trash. At any moment, at any point in time here, he could have ulted me, and I probably would not have had time to react with this lag. Right here as well, he could have E'd right there. Look at how much time he had here to E after I EQ. So yeah, it's all pretty garbage. Nothing to be happy about there. Alright, buddy. The Graves a little thirsty here. And now I'm pretty much full build. This is the early game full build, not the mid game full build. The mid game full build is just Zeal and Shield Bow. The early game full build is just Zeal and Noon Quiver. Of course, assuming you rushed Zerkers. With this, I'm okay taking most of the fights unless someone is very fed and I actually need my Shield Bow Power Spike, which most of the time if you're playing well, that shouldn't be the case. So I'm taking all the fights, because really the only way he wins is if he trades me multiple times in a row. And as long as I like just freely DPS him, I win. I played against a better Fizz more recently in a Smurkview game where he kept Eing behind me and Qing the opposite direction, meaning that I could never retaliate on him. And he did that so many times that in the end it just kind of became unplayable. And I kept giving him that because I kept trying to outplay it, because I was like trying to learn, see like the spacing, the something, right? Because I'm not used to Fizzes doing that. But I think that's what you're supposed to be doing against Yasuo. You just E behind him, then Q through him back to safety. If you space the E correctly, you get the max Q dash. Well, the Q dash is a fixed distance, right? So if you Q from max range, you end up right where Yasuo is. But if you Q from where Yasuo is, then you end up pretty far away to like about to longer Q range than Yasuo's Q range, I mean. So it's a very reliable way to trade against Yasuo. I guess Clash was taking place at the time, and so maybe the servers were being a little overloaded. No big macro play here. You come back to a neutral wave state mid, so it's a free roam timer, especially if your mid laner is also roaming, because you're not losing the wave. He's not losing the wave, so ideally you want to like shove and then roam, but like I obviously didn't have time to do that here. Here I'm going super duper ham. Bad E. This is like a cocky E. There's no reason to E here. You want to space, you don't have your Q yet, you don't need to EQ. So really it was just taking free damage kind of E. And so as a result, I die because Soraka doesn't ult me for some reason. Like we see her coming, right? Like at this point I'm like, oh yes, I have a Soraka, nice, she's gonna heal me. And I'm running away from her because Fizz is closer to me than she is. But she still has ult, right? So here I'm like, alright, she's definitely spamming W on me. I'm gonna EQ and hope that she W's me. Where the fuck does her heal go? Did she heal Shen? Did she heal Shen? I have no idea, man. But she didn't silence, she didn't ult, just bad Soraka play. But it was my bad, right? Like, I took too much free damage. But it's fine, we're just having fun, we're looking for fights. We're making sure to keep lanes shoved. So what's bad about this? If I really want the kill, first of all he has E, so I'm not going to get the kill. I can auto Q, but I'm not in range. And after the auto Q, you want to dash to another minion, and then auto Q again, and then you EQ him. you don't EQ, you don't E the Ezreal right away. So anyway, that was bad. I'm just taking tower shots. I kind of don't care because I'm like strong and I'm not threatened by the enemy comp at all. But if you lose too much HP, you still die, right? Like, I'm just playing cocky because I can. Now, I know I'm kind of fine here because I have a minion to dash to, but this is the one position I don't want to be in. The only reason I'm here is because I want to like power farm. And I don't want that wave to go to waste, but really, I don't want to match the Tryndamere because he's the hardest. He's the only thing I can just handle or outright bully. He actually bullies me because I need to be able to space his ult. I need to be able to do enough damage to make him ult, then run away, then go back in. So here they do the thingy, and I expect him to show, but he just goes for his wave instead. He could have just gone for the fight on me and probably won it, but you know, I do have shield bow, so maybe not. I'm just like YOLOing because I have a Soraka, or so I thought. She didn't have ult. But yeah, I guess we kind of win. Like, what do you want me to say about this? Honestly, this is such an int move. I'm like, alright, let's see what happens, right? I just dash in and like see what happens. Nothing happens. I don't wind wall anything of value here. The one thing I need to be wind walling is the Zyra flashy. Oh my god. The problem is Tryndamere. Like, I don't want us to ARM mid for too long. I want to make shit happen because I don't want to keep Tryndamere. Give him the split. And he still gets to get the tower anyway. That was like the earliest fight we could have gotten because I literally inted the engage. And I forced it so hard. If we had waited longer for like a correct quote-unquote engage, the only correct engage there, by the way, is just Skarner like dashing in, right? Like, you just run at him and you kill them all. That's pretty much what you do there. But yeah, if we waited longer, we probably would have lost just about the same, actually, now that I think about it. We would not have lost the top tower. We would have lost maybe another wave or two. But if you wait long enough, Tryndamere is done pushing top and he just comes mid and then you 5v5 instead of 4v5. I asked Shen to match Trynd because it's literally his job, and I'm just gimped if I have to do that. Here, I'm just pressuring best I can. I'm not really scared of any of them because Yasuo's only weakness is the run at you champs, the volley bears, the Zinzaos, the run at you and kite champs, Yi, Kha'Zix, Rengar, right? They can be assassins, but they're fighters. It's just that they're fighters with maybe 1 CC ability and way too much burst damage, but then they're tanky enough where, you know, it's rough. But these champs are not that. They're ranged champs and silly assassins. Ranged champs are exactly what Yasuo likes, and silly assassins are the assassins that don't like outright one-shot you, and you have a lot of outplay potential against. So like Talon, if not fed, is a silly assassin. Zed, even if not fed, is not a silly assassin. He's a real assassin. I don't know if that made sense. You're free to disagree. Let me know in the comments. That's your opinion. What happens here? Am I making the wrong call by overstaying because I'm greeting for waves? Potentially. In my mind, we don't lose bot here, 4v5. They don't get to dive us because we have Skarner ult and Shen ult is coming up. So I don't know why they're losing HP. Like, the tower's right there, right? So why are they fighting not under tower? I don't know, man. And Soraka also isn't up, I guess, because she's like... Why was she low to begin with? She was low from, like, way before, huh? Oh, she got chunked mid, because she's bad. And then she gets chunked again throughout. Like, oh, maybe because she was healing me, actually. My bad. I guess I got her low and I didn't win wall for her. I should have windwalled the Graves ult for her, so I guess that's my bad. Yeah, right there. I could have windwalled that. I thought I dodged it, but obviously I didn't, and I totally wasn't thinking about the Soraka. I could have saved her there. That's my bad. I'm saving my windwall for the Fizz ult and stuff. So anyway, they kill the Soraka, and then Shen doesn't fight under tower, and then they feed. And this is what I'm talking about, right? In solo queue, this is what happens. So you need to be ready for that to happen. Like, it is going to happen, except that it's going to happen. Don't get tilted because it happened. Like, it will happen. So use it to your advantage in two ways. One, you go to the fight and you clean it up and you get fed. Or if you're not confident that's going to be the outcome, you just go on the opposite side of the map and you keep farming. It's really elementary. The game is super simple. It's really not that complicated. You don't have that many choices to make, right? Like, farm or fight. At the core, those are the only two modes in the game. There's a third one, which is pressure, where you don't want to fight, but also you're not getting as much farm as you could, but you're drawing pressure, so that's where the value is coming in. And most of the time, pressuring actually costs you income, but that's more of like a late game thing, and split pushing is not that very reliable, honestly, unless you have a specialized split push type champ. So he casts me out, I leave, I don't want to overstay. I would love to get red buff, but I don't want to tilt my teammates, so I'm just waiting to see what happens. Vayne doesn't want it, I take it. I don't think Vayne should take it ever, really. We don't have any vision, but we know they're not doing the Baron. Here, Shen escapes. All good. We can't really do anything here, we're just waiting. This is the waiting period of the mid game, where you want to keep power farming to get your items, and then maybe either force a Baron or... Shen doesn't have ult here, so he can't really punish Baron. And honestly, I don't blame them for backing here, because it's way too risky. We can lose Baron 4v5, or like Tryndamere just like comes to us before Shen makes it because he doesn't have his ult. And I think Shen runs Ignite anyway. So I guess not doing Baron is the actual proper call. But I'm just like coin flipping a little bit. I want to see what happens. I'm just trying to make shit happen, right? But in VOD review terms, don't Baron call just because Tryndamere is pressuring. He doesn't win this. I don't know why he's trying this. I don't know. Like, I'm just going to dive him here. Even though I do have red buff. He flashes. So now I'm kind of low, and he did get my shield bow. But I have the Triumph rune. So the last auto from the tower doesn't actually do anything to me. 178 versus 199. It's not that big a deal. So it's a pretty elementary dive. He's just inting, and he gives me tower for free. So I'm outsplitting Tryndamere here at this point. I'm not going to get the tower here. Oh, I think I die here. Yeah, very tough to survive that. And that's just because I played it dirty. If I'm split pushing, I want green trinket, but since I have blue, I should still use it anyway. If I see Graves coming, I can chunk him outside of tower range, and then I can dive him with way more HP remaining, maybe even a shield bow. If my shield bow is still up, I can kill Fizz, no problem. Okay, we got the Fizz flash. They go for a pretty spicy Baron call. Shen has ult. I'm coming from base to at least clean up. No one is peeling the Vayne, but she wins it anyway. Laggy game. And here I'm just like running in. I'm like, I'm gonna save you all. Let me just kill everyone. Oh my god. Oh my god. So messy. I should have gotten a free triple there. That was so messy. This is a free triple right here. In no world is this not a free triple. I waste my wind wall trying to save the fool. Which honestly was kind of a mistake because he dies anyway, and then I get E'd. And once you get E'd, you can't do anything. And I was hoping I could like QR before the Zyra ult hit me, but it was too slow. Maybe I shouldn't have autoed there. Like this auto? And if I walked backwards, I could have knocked both of them up. Anyway. Should have played that a little better. But yeah, the call was trash. Like, if this was a serious game, I'd be kind of upset at taking these needless risks. Because, like, I won't be able to win this handily forever. At some point, it will be closer and I won't be as strong. So I don't want to waste the times where I'm strong with random fights like that. Like, I could have easily gotten a penta that fight, but I wasn't there. And my team not caring about that tells me they don't want to win. Which is fine in this game, but when I'm actually trying to climb and shit, it's not fine. I want to say this is a bad Zanya's. Because of the Tryndamere. And there was no point in me waiting this long to the point where Shen's ult is finished and he taunts the Tryndamere. I don't actually Zanya's anything except the Zyra ult, which honestly maybe is worth Zanya'sing. Here I just kind of run away to make sure the Tryndamere doesn't kill me and I can lifesteal on Dragon. So pretty elementary engaged, knowing that I have Shen ult, Zanya's, and Shield Bow, and Wind Wall. There's no reason for me not to do that. So let's rewatch. We're all grouped. They're like taking Dragon. I'm behind them. I have a Tornado. The only way this kind of sucks for me is if I don't land this and I don't hit it. If I land it and I don't hit it, it's still bad for me. Because I get chased by Tryndamere. I didn't like turn around to dodge his slow. So ideally right here, my mouse should be way closer to me, right? And I just go like this, because I know he's going to fear me or slow me as soon as he can. Like right there. And then maybe I can keep running. But then Shen ults me, so I'm like, alright, we're taking this ult, we're engaging, we're going to win this fight. Skarner ults the Zyra, which is dumb of him because she already did her ult. And like, what else is she going to do? Is she going to E people? No, she's like throwing all her shit on me. So you can just stun her and then ult someone who is scarier. But whatever. Oh my god, and Soraka silences her too for no reason. Anyway, this is why you don't want to coin flip team fights. You know, when people are telling you to take control of the game in your own hands and don't rely, like, don't play so passive that the game devolves into whoever wins the fight. Because this is who you're playing with. People who don't know how to team fight, people who aren't paying attention, people who are getting caught. You don't want to be setting up situations where you have to rely on coin flippy situations you can't control to go right. Go for the outnumbered fights, out-rotate the enemy, out-pressure the enemy, make them make dumb mistakes. But do not, for the love of your LP, do not random team fight. If you're a coin flip player and you don't climb, that's fine, right? Like, that's most people. Just accept that and stop flaming everyone when you're coin flipping. I'm just salty about that. Anyway, this guy takes us on the wildest goose chase. I try to airblade, but I kind of can't. I don't think he can kill me here. It's kind of fine. But then Shen fucking guessing me anyway. Kind of rude, but he wasn't worth that much, so I guess whatever. But he did cost me my shield bow, which kind of sucked. So is this a free Baron call? I don't think so. Our where the fuck did they kill them? They killed them mid. Huh, nice, actually. It is a pretty good Baron call, never mind. Because even though our teammates want to reset and stuff, it's pretty free because everyone else is dead. I could have ulted the Fizz there, but honestly, I'm pretty sure they just... Oh my god, she's so bad. Literally, like, move away. Why are you getting hit by his E? Okay. She didn't get hit by the E. And Shen didn't need to ult. Okay, never mind. I mean, better said than sorry, but if she stood farther back, then he probably wouldn't have ulted. Just little things, right? It doesn't change much. But a lot of the times, that does change a lot. Like, people will greed for a kill that's guaranteed because they stay in range because they want the kill or they want to participate. Well, all you need to do is, like, run away, and the person's gonna die and you stay alive. And you don't need to die. That was one of those cases, but it happens a lot. As you surely know. What is this game? Anyway, at this point the game is kind of over, honestly. It's kind of a comp diff. We have Skarner and Soraka and Shen, and then we have Vayne and Yasuo. So it's very hard for them to kill all of our damage. Look at that. They're spending so much, committing so much to kill Vayne, and she still doesn't die. And they're just GG. And that's what the game has been about all game. And then their backline dies. I have never seen a scary or useful Zyra. Never. At least us in the last 5 years. Like, I don't know what it is about these Zyra support players. I don't know what they think is going to happen when they pick that champ. I wonder if they ever get to do what they think the champ is going to do for them. Is that the lesson? Just don't pick Zyra support? Because that's my lesson. Anyway, hope you enjoyed or learned something or whatever, right?